You know, it really did feel like fall out there for week 2 of the high school playoffs. Hello, everyone. I'm Dom Tiberi. Welcome to First and 10.
And I'm Adam King. The November rain moving out of the way for a foggy night of great matchups. 224 teams. I did the math, Dom. They started the night in Ohio, but only 112 move on to next week.
And we're going to kick things off with our game of the week. 9-0 Watterson hosting 8-3 Granville. Watterson, defending state champs, they boast a 25-game winning streak. Granville coming into the game winning 3 in a row, and it really did feel like football weather. Cool temperatures, but plenty of heat on the field. And we'll pick it up in the first quarter. Watterson jumping out. Jack McCoy in for the touchdown. Eagles led 7-0. Then it's the Eagles' defense turn. Max Steinberner with the pick, and he knows what to do. Brings it back 28 yards for the touchdown. Watterson led 14-0. Then one more late in the first quarter. Drew Belisari to his cousin, Carter Belisari, 36-yard strike. Eagles led 21-0. They would add 2 more touchdowns in the second half, including Caden Mangini right here. Eagles roll 56-0.
Okay, that was the game of the week, but this was a close contender at second. Upper Arlington, one of the hottest teams in Central Ohio, going against 3-seeded Pickerington North on the road. The fog only adding to the dramatics all across Central Ohio tonight. The Bears jumping out early in this one, and it caused major problems for Pickerington fans. Up 10-0, and then Caden Chinavong. He can see through the fog. No worry about that. Spin move there, and Snake Eyes has plans for 6. Upper Arlington, a shocker, up 17-0. They're playing that fight song, but Pickerington North, they need something, and this will help. They send the house, and the punt, oh, that is not going to go very far. So the Panthers have life, and here they come. They need to cut into that lead before the half. That sets them up on the goal line. Then Jaron Mock, I'll do it myself. Count them with me. Breaks 1, 2, 3, 4 tackles on the way to the end zone. The ball looked like it came out, crossed the goal line. They call it a touchdown. They carried that momentum into the second half. The Panthers tied this game up 27-27, but the Bears would kick a field goal to take the lead and hold off Pick North to get the win 30-27. Just a few miles down the road, the team Upper Arlington will play Pickerington Central hosting Groveport. Coming off that big win over Gahanna is Groveport, but Pick Central, they're one of the best in Central Ohio. Now, Dom, you've heard of an arm tackle. Can I interest you in a sleeve tackle? Yep. If this was not November, I think this guy gets into the end zone, but he's wearing long sleeves. Don't worry, though, because they can lean on Edmund McAllister III. He's a freshman, did not play like it tonight. Pickerington up 7-0, and then Groveport. You can't beat the Tigers putting the ball on the ground. They fall on it right there. Central gets it back. And remember when I talked about Edmund McAllister? You know that guy?
Edmund Fitzgerald.
Well, that's a different human being. But this is McAllister III, and McAllister's got his second touchdown. That is 2 touchdowns on the day for him, and that is a dominant win for Pickerington Central. Up 42-0 in the second quarter. They cruised over the Cruisers 42-7 to get the win.
All right, next up we head to Olentangy Orange. The Pioneers hosting the Bears of Olentangy Berlin. Orange, a perfect 10-0 on the year. Berlin coming into the game with a 6-5 record, and we'll pick this one up in the first quarter. No score, and Orange comes out firing. Levi Davis, we've seen this kid all year long. This time he goes to Zane Konzak. Pick up of 45 yards. That would lead to a field goal, 3-0 lead. Second quarter, Orange is back at it. Levi Davis goes to Jake Luling. This time a 33-yard strike for the touchdown. Orange led 13-0. Orange goes on to win 43-14. Just down the road, we head to Olentangy. The 8-2 Braves hosting the defending state champs in 7-4 Olentangy Liberty. A cool shot of the moon. Isn't that neat?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, third quarter, Liberty's up 10-0. Olentangy going for it on 4th down. Bad snap. Liberty's Ben Rucker scoops it up. And look at that. He'll bring it back 67 yards for the touchdown.
That's
made it
6-7 right there, Dom.
6-7. And it was 17-0. Liberty getting it done on defense as they pitched the shutout. Olentangy Liberty, defending state champs, go on to win 17-0.
The people couldn't see. Dom did, in fact, hit the 6-7 dance. Now to Jonathan Alder, the Pioneers. They've lost just once this season, and that was to a really good London team. Tonight, welcoming Johnstown. And this is a vibe. I love it. The Spider-Man hat, the dancing. How can you not get excited for football? Jonathan Alder channeling those moves and to these moves. Braxton Overmeyer, you could drive a semi through that hole. The touchdown there for Alder. They were up 35-7, but that is not enough. You see good Pioneer offense. Now here's some good Pioneer defense. They forced the fumble. Braylon Kaufman comes up with it, and then Brock Hughes does his thing. You can't really see it because of all the fog in there, but that's a touchdown. Alder moving on the big win, 42-21.
All right, Mr. King, that will take care of our first 6 games, but we're not done.
No, we still have 4 more, including some major highlights coming up after the break.
You know, this season has flown by. Week 2 of the playoffs. We still, though, have 4 weeks of playoffs to go before a champion's crowned in each division.
And you've already seen a number of Central Ohio teams keeping themselves in it, trying to reach that first week of December. More teams now. We have, 4 more here?
Yeah, and that includes the Red Raiders of London hosting the Rockets of Cincinnati McNicholas. We're talking about a London team coming to the game with a perfect 10-0 record. McNicholas 7-4 on the year, and we'll pick this one up in the first quarter. Neat shot here of London taking the field. They were up 3-0, but McNicholas is going to come back here. Check out quarterback Sandfoss breaks free, and he is gone. 53 yards for the touchdown. Rockets led 7-3. Second quarter, London comes back. Quarterback Blake Ray goes to Kyler Russell, and he'll pick up 37 yards on the play. That sets up the touchdown. Kyler Russell, 2-yard touchdown. London goes on to win 17-14. Next up, we head to St. Francis de Sales. The 8-2 Stallions hosting 10-1, the Arrows of Ashland. Second quarter, DeSales is up 3-0, and Ashland's going to come back. Nathan Bernhardt airs it out to Killen O'Brien. Check him out. 85 yards for the touchdown. That put him up 7-3, but DeSales is going to come back. Led by R.J. Day. Goes to Dax Middleton, and watch this. He'll take it 75 yards down to the 6-yard line. That is going to set up the touchdown. R.J. Day goes to Frankie McAllister, and DeSales led 10-7. How about this? R.J. Day setting a school record, 482 yards, 3 touchdowns. DeSales advancing, winning 33-29.
400 yards. I feel like that's pretty impressive. All right, we're moving on to Columbus Academy. They've had so many good regular seasons. For the Vikings, though, it's about finishing off with a trophy, and that starts tonight. Zane Trace coming to town here, and it's a good thing we're talking you through these highlights because of all the fog, this was the foggiest. Nick Johnson, he didn't have any problem following that football, though. He grabs the interception here. He's headed up the sideline for Columbus Academy. Although we're going back here, Zane Trace with the football, and that is where, well, it's Bryce Johnson. These highlights are brought to you by Johnsonville. Not related, I don't believe. They're into the end zone, but today is about Columbus Academy. The Vikings have big plans. So does Henry Pizzuti. Like artwork there down to the goal line. And then if you really squint and lock in, very far away through the fog, you can see his cash really right into the end zone there. Gabe Davis-Ray, he's got 3 names and he's got 7 points there. Columbus Academy gets the win 35-23. The Vikings keep moving on, chasing that trophy. Now to our last game, and it might be the game of the night. Licking Valley hosting Bloom Carroll, and Licking Valley down by 8 points. We're starting in the fourth quarter of this game. You gotta have something. Running out of time here. And it is Gallinini off the edge here into the end zone. All right, so they're down 2. They've got to go for 2 here. You need it. Cannot do anything but score here. They go back to the guy that just scored, so we're all tied up. But here's the thing. Bloom Carroll, they've got time. They can go down. They can get the win themselves. Instead, though, they throw an interception. And just like that, Licking Valley, the 2 seed, is in business. So do you go back to Gallinini? No. They say, we're going to keep it with our quarterback. Brody Rogers calls his own number, and that is the game-winning score, 31-24. Somehow, someway, Licking Valley survives.
And that's going to put a wrap on week 2 of the playoffs.